Appropriate. I won't be
Airdrie
inappropriate
Inside.
for you.
Nice.
Airdrie Inside. Yeah. Welcome to the inside.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Airdrie Inside. I am your host, Chris Glass. We are here at Rival Axe Throwing. If you haven't been to this facility, you have to check it out. It's so much more than just axes. They've got a full service bar here. They have meeting rooms upstairs. This is an amazing venue right here in the heart of Airdrie. And I am with Beckie Ryan. Beckie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
So Beckie, fascinated with your story because you've decided to throw your hat in the ring, literally into a boxing ring after 8 weeks of training.
Yes.
For the white collar boxing event. So welcome to the show.
Thanks. That's that part of it is entertaining.
So let's start off with a little bit about your background. Let's talk about what brought you to Airdrie, and white collar boxing tends to have a connection to the oil patch in the oil field. So let's get to know you a little bit.
Yeah. So I moved to Calgary in 1997. So I'm totally dating myself now. I'm that old. Graduated high school, moved to Calgary, went to SAIT, and I basically graduated with mechanical engineering technology diploma in 2001, and I've been in oil and gas the entire time. So most of my career was in Calgary, and then I transitioned to Airdrie probably 2019, 2020.
Okay.
And I have had a very lucky endeavor to stay in Airdrie and work in Airdrie and live in Airdrie. This is my home.
That is exciting. So it's my home too. We talk about it all the time. We wanted to start this show to really highlight some of the interesting Airdrie stories. You were telling me off camera that you were involved with SMARTstart, an entrepreneurial group here in Airdrie. Talk about that for a bit.
So oil and gas went into a bit of a recession in 2016, 2017. Yep. And during that time, I figured, why not quit my job and start a business? So I took the SMARTstart entrepreneurial program in 2016. That's my alumni group.
Okay.
And it was instrumental into operating my business, learning how to grow my business. And it was an at-home business. It was a personal training business that I ran out of my basement. And then through learning what I was taught in SMARTstart, I actually dissolved my business because I couldn't grow it to be viable.
Yeah.
So after 3 years, I dissolved it and I went back to oil and gas. But even though I went back to oil and gas, I have continued to be a part of the SMARTstart program.
Right.
Part of my oil and gas career was technical sales. And networking. So SMARTstart had asked me to do their networking seminar for the new up and coming core cohorts. So I was thrilled to do that. And then they asked me to do their sales seminar. So I teach 2 classes now for the new groups of SMARTstart. And I also sponsor. So I personally give monetary value back to the program.
Wow.
Because this community is one of my core personal pillars. I live here, I work here. I want Airdrie to thrive, and I would love to see more local businesses thrive. And my little part, if my little bit helps somebody, then I'm at peace.
Yeah, it's again, a common theme. You're going to hear me say it on this podcast quite a bit is we're getting to the size as a city that we shouldn't be driving to Calgary for all of our services, all of our entertainment, all of our businesses, right? We should be starting to grow those industries here. So it's great to see an incubator of sorts to help drive more entrepreneurship in our city.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So before we get to your boxing career, though, what advice would you have for somebody starting a business here in Airdrie with your experience and with the SMARTstart program? If you could get on your soapbox and talk about that, what would it be?
I think anybody starting their business really needs to sit down and do a feasibility study. And the best advice that I was given is that you need to be a sponge and you truly do not know what you do not know.
Right.
So I think trying to gain as much information as you can. Information is just gold. And take that and see if that is actually going to be a viable business for you.
Wow, that's excellent advice. So let's talk about boxing.
So
you are training out of a gym that I know and love here in the city, Humble Boxing. Shout out to Lucas George, who I hope to have on the show soon. What a great program. What a great gym. How's it been?
It has been enlightening. It has been humbling.
Yeah.
It's been exciting. And it's been a very much a sweat fest.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think people understand how much cardio goes into boxing and kickboxing and that, like how much liquid literally pours out of you.
Absolutely. And I thought going in, because I teach spin as well. Yeah. So I spin and I'm like, I got cardio. And then you get there and you're like, I don't have this cardio.
Right. You forget to breathe and that doesn't help.
Oh yeah. I still don't know how to breathe when I throw a punch. I hold my breath. I get in trouble for it.
So this started a year ago though. So you were originally going to be fighting last year.
That's right.
And the event didn't go through?
That's correct.
So you were training then, nothing happened, and then you thought that was in the rearview mirror.
I did. I knew that they were going to postpone it, and I had it in my mind that I was going to do it again, but my 2024 kind of grenaded, maybe is the best way to put it. So I just didn't have the time to put into actually training. So when the circuit came around again and when I was asked to fight, I actually said no. I said that I wasn't able to facilitate the costs, and I didn't feel that I had the appropriate amount of time to give it 100%.
Right.
So I did say no. And then they called me again, and there's not very many female participants or female fighters. So I did learn that there was a female fighter who did not have an opponent. And because literally on one of my old business cards, my tagline says there's a Beckie for that. The organizers called me and said, would you come in and be her opponent? And I thought, yeah, all right. Right here in my feels.
So before we talk about your opponent, let's talk about the event, because this isn't a normal boxing event. This isn't seasoned pugilists coming together and having one of 4 fights a year kind of thing. What is the event? Talk to me about that.
So the event takes, we'll say, beginner fighters, people, white collar. I didn't plan that, by the way. White collar individuals who have never fought. And you have to go through the 12 weeks of training. They teach you how to technical spar. They teach you footwork. They teach you how to breathe. Right. So they guide you to be able to do this fight. And the purpose of the fight is to bring the community together. And it's actually for charity.
Okay.
So it supports, this year is Airdrie Power and Airdrie First Club.
Yeah.
So all of the proceeds come back to the community that we both love so much. Right. Which is another reason why I said yes.
So when people say, I bleed for my city, you're actually hopefully going to not do that, but it's potential.
I did not take the day off on the day after the fight, so I'm quite prepared to go to work and look like I was a punching bag. Mm-hmm.
So talk to me about your opponent. What do you know about her?
So funny thing, actually, her name is also Rebecca, goes by Becca. So Beckie is fighting Becca, a couple of Rebeccas.
Over the name Rebecca?
Yeah, we're going to fight over it. Yeah. Okay. She's feisty. So she does have one fight under her belt already. She fought not last year, but the year prior. Okay. And she's a little spitfire. So I've got a bit of a uphill battle, I think, if I'm going to take that belt.
Now, one of the most important things about a fight is your walkout music.
Yes.
Have you decided what song you're coming out to?
I have decided. I can't necessarily give it away.
Okay.
Only because I posted on LinkedIn yesterday about the fight, and I'm doing a draw a prize draw.
The good news is this will air after the fight. So
Perfect.
You can,
okay, so I can let it go. I actually struggle to pick my walkout song. I'm a newfie at heart, so I was like, oh, I got this. It's going to be a newfie song, Heave Away, right?
Yes.
Catchy, everybody knows it. It's got a good beat to it. And then my son actually said, Mom, this song speaks you. This is your song. And it's Monster by Skillet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that is my walkout song. It talks about that inner beast that is there, but I keep it all tucked inside. So I'm going to bring that out.
That's fantastic. Yeah. I have a lot of love for the fight game. Obviously, with my background, as some listeners may know, I've trained martial arts for a while. I really like what you can discover about yourself in the ring, and really that physical adversity and the mental adversity that comes with it. Talk to me about how that is in training and when you're sparring. What does it bring out in you?
So I think I am lucky in the fact that I have an athletic background from my youth.
Yeah.
So to bring that into this training, I know that you basically just got to get your head down and you just have to give it everything you have,
right.
Be a sponge and listen. And I think most athletes, some of the best athletes are the people that actually take the advice and work on it instead of just in one ear and out the other.
Yeah, there's a difference between being physically gifted and being, I think, mentally humble, if you call it that. To learn from people like Lucas and your coaches.
Yes, absolutely. Especially when they tell you not to hold your breath. That one I struggle with.
The thing I've always found is with fighting, there's an instant feedback loop for when you make a mistake.
Yep.
And it's somebody else's fist. So you get that right away.
Yeah. I think I'm also blessed to have a high pain tolerance. So right. I just take my lickings and keep on ticking. So I'm looking forward to that part.
So we're at the end of camp here.
Yes.
So walk me through the whole training regimen. So how did it start? Where are you now? What's left to do?
So the group has been training every Tuesday and Thursdays, but because I work Thursday nights, I can only train on Tuesdays. So I really only get half of what they're doing, and I just am not able to do a lot of the extra stuff that I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
But I recognize that, right? So we learn how to take a punch. We learn how to keep our guard up.
Yeah.
That has been instrumental. And then Lucas talks about the alactic system. That part of the training at the end of the sessions is vomit feeling. I have felt that twice over the past 8 weeks, and I know a lot about my body and what that feels like, and there's signs before you actually want to throw up, but I did have to walk to the bathroom one time.
It's not unusual to see that in a training camp and go from there.
Yeah.
What is the actual event? So where's it being held, and where can people buy tickets? How can they support the cause? So
it is on March 27th at the Palace Theatre, downtown Calgary on Stephen Avenue. The tickets are on sale. I think we're 90% sold. Okay. Right now at this point.
That's great.
And then, so there are standing tickets available at AirdrieOilmansAssociation.com. So you head over there. It's right on their front page now to buy tickets. You just click on it, give them your credit card. The event starts at 5:30. So we are weighing in real time. So if you want to know how much I weigh, show up at 5:30 and they will announce it for you.
So you don't have to cut. So that's interesting. So you have to cut down to the weight, but I guess what I mean by that is it's not a day before weigh-in. No. Where rehydrating becomes a factor and that kind of stuff. So, wow, that adds a whole new element to the game.
Yes.
So how's that been?
Okay, so I'll go back a little bit. So when I started training last year for the fight, and I'm super open about my fitness journey. I was 195 pounds. I am not 195 pounds today.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of that was because I started that training and I knew, and when I do something, I go all in. I don't half-ass it.
Yeah.
So I knew that I needed to be in shape and I needed to drop weight because there aren't very many other athletic fighters that would have been in that weight category. So going into this fight now, I'm definitely a lot more fit than I was last year.
Right.
So I think I've got that aspect to it. But I'm so glad that I don't have to cut weight and drop water weight and try to meet a certain weight category. Because, man, I think I'd have to cut my right leg off to make weight.
We had Damian Smith on a couple of episodes ago, and he was talking about losing 15 to 20 pounds the week of his fight. And that was just... I couldn't imagine having to do that
it's
for
hard.
any reason.
Yeah, it's hard. I was a competitive bodybuilder as well for 3 years. So yeah, to cut that weight the last 4 to 6 weeks to cut, it's very, very challenging.
So, so the event is on the 27th.
Yes.
Weigh-ins are that day.
Yes.
Do you know where you're fighting on the card? Are you start, middle, end? Have they given you that yet?
They have not yet told us where we are fighting in the card.
Yeah.
And I mean, myself and Becca, we are lucky that we know that we're fighting each other.
Right.
But the male fighters don't yet know who they're fighting, and they're not going to know until the night of.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mind blown, right? So every week we spar with these people and we have different partners and we spar with the coaches, and, to just kind of get into a ring and not know until you're walking out who you're fighting against it's a whole different mind game.
No doubt. So who selects the opponents? Is that the coaches that are working with you? They're trying to pair up people that skill sets are kind of similar, that kind of thing?
I think just for the men, it would come down to their weight class. Right. So they'll have to work within their weight class. And then I honestly don't know if it's going to be a draw of a hat and a number, or if they're just going to close their eyes, or I really don't know that part of it yet.
Well, that adds a tremendous variable to the event.
I think it's going to be very exciting.
How many rounds are you fighting?
We all are going to do 3 rounds, 2 minutes apiece.
2 minutes.
Yes.
Excellent. Good. The 5 rounds would be...
and 3-minute rounds. I couldn't imagine trying to do 3-minute rounds. I'm exhausted and spent after a minute and a half.
So then after the fight, after everything's said and done, what's next for you?
Oh, for boxing wise or just in life wise?
Well, I think boxing will depend on how it goes on the card. Or is this something that you're going to continue doing after the event?
I guess I don't know until after the event.
Right.
If I was to consider getting into boxing, it's a very big commitment. Like I said, I don't do stuff half-ass. But after the fight, I've got a little bit of work to do with my daughter who plays ringette.
Yeah.
We are going to Prague for a ringette tournament in
Wow.
July. So we're going to continue training for that. And then, when we get back from that, it's going to be not much of the summers left. And then fall happens again, and I'm right back into being mom and sports and work and running around and burning fuel.
And what are you doing for work now?
So right now I get to hold 2 different roles. I'm a project manager, and I do quality control management for a company here in Airdrie.
Excellent.
Called Northwest Equipment.
Excellent.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, after the boxing match, we'd love to have you back on and figure out how it all went and get the whole rundown.
See my bruises?
Yeah. Prediction-wise, what round are you going to knock her out in?
Oh, of course, the first round.
First round knockout is what we're looking for. That's great.
Go big or go home, right?
Right. And then we'll see on the future boxing career and what's next for you.
Yeah, I don't know. I struggle to say no sometimes. So I think if somebody says, hey, we see some talent in you as a mature fighter,
right?
Because I'm that old. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I got into fighting later on in my life too. I think I was 36 at the time, and hadn't been punched in the face until then. So my days of knocking Mike Tyson out are probably behind me. But I still love the competitive aspect of it, and getting in the ring and going from there. So it's really exciting to hear what you're doing. I think everybody in the city is going to be behind you. Is your opponent from Airdrie as well?
No, she's out of Calgary.
So she's out of Calgary. So she is definitely the heel in this case. So we do not want her to win. We are only supporting Airdrie fighters in this. How many Airdrie fighters are on the card?
I actually don't know.
Okay.
I wish I did. I don't know how many Airdrie residents are actually on the card.
But the charities are Airdrie.
That is correct.
So
yes.
Let's do what we can to sell it out on the 27th.
I would love that.
And bring all that money back to Airdrie Power and Airdrie First.
That's right.
Excellent. One more time, can you tell me where we're going to get tickets from?
You can get tickets from the Airdrie Oilmen's Association.com website. It's right on their first page, right on the front page.
Okay. Now, if your opponent was sitting right here, what would you say to her to kind of hype up the fight?
Oh my gosh.
Give me your best promo.
I don't even know if I would. I'm more of a lover than a fighter. I would like give her a big hug and literally just say, best woman wins. Like, you can try to break my nose, but I'll probably break yours too. And let's just give her shit.
See, there you go. The trash talk did come out with the broken nose threat. Becky, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
It was very nice to meet you. I appreciate being here.
And we're going to be back with more episodes from Airdrie Inside here at Rival Axe Throwing shortly. Thank you so much.